everyone, it's Sam here, and I'm back with another book of boxes. The last one that I shared, the book of surprise, was it something, or box of surprises, done really well. So I've kind of evolved that one a bit more. So I've got this lovely tall kind of book style. It's all decorated for Easter, but this will work for any occasion, Christmas, birthdays, just because I can see it working for all of those. I've got my hook and loop closure, and then when you open it up, I've got this, book of boxes. So you've got 3 boxes that all open from the side here. I'm going to be filling mine with bags of like mini eggs and just different loose chocolates and things, just alternative Easter. You know, not everybody wants an Easter egg. They like all the other chocolates that are also around. You've got another big one here. So it's a, great size for small gifts as well. Makeup, that's always a good one. And then this one here, if I just undo the bow, you've got a nice size tray style box here, which I'm going to be probably putting a gift in this one as well. Yeah, actually I think I'll do the gift in this one because I've got a gift in mind that will fit, and then just fill chocolates, in the rest. No dies are needed for this one. It's a really straightforward one. Like I said, if you've been following me for a while, these kind of book boxes are really popular, and I've got quite a few of them now on the channel, so I'll have the playlist coming up as well. So let's get started. So there's quite a few parts to this one. So I'm going to start off with the case, and then I'm going to start off with all of the different boxes individually, because you can then decide which ones you want to use. So I'm using these 2 sets here, mainly the paper pad, I think, for this one, which is from Paper Ink Stamp. I'll have it linked below. You get 16 A4 sheets, 8 designs on 180 GSM. So these are all Easter themed, and quite a few of my Easter projects this year are using these papers. And then you've got your embellishment pack, which has got the cute images there that you can cut out, and also your coordinating cardstock. So you've got 4 coloured papers, 2 of each, 180 GSM, and 2 topper sheets, which are 230 GSM. So for the case, you want 2 pieces of 8 1/4 by 11 inch cardstock. You can have 8 1/2 by 11, which is the letter size. So if you want to do that, you can. Yours is just going to be a bit wider. You're going to score both pieces along that short side. So whether it's 8 1/2 or 8 1/4 at 2 1/4. Okay, so just write down 2 1/4. Then you'll want to cut your pattern paper, which is, so it'd be 2 pieces of, I've got here 2 1/8 by 10 7/8. And then these are 2 pieces of 5 7/8 by, again, that 10 7/8. If yours is 8 1/2, then you'll want 2 pieces that are, you'll do 6, okay? You want to fold and burnish, flip one over so it faces this way, and you're going to stick it behind the other. So you can see there we've got our tool, almost like a little book at the moment. And just cover all of this part. And sit that one over the top. If you want to decorate the insides, then you want the same size paper that I gave you there. And again, for the inside piece, I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to talk you through now what I'm going to have on the right hand side. So I'm going to have these 3 boxes, which make sure I've got them opening out. They're going to open out this side. So I've got the openings facing up there, so they will open up like so. So I've got 3, so you want to cut 3 of the size I'm going to give you, but you might just want 1, you might want 2, you might want to put a sentiment here or a gift card. You could have this one at the bottom and then have a gap here and have a different pocket or something there. It's really easy for you to change this up. But like I said, if you want to do the same as me, then you want 3 pieces of 8 1/2 by 8 1/4, and along the 8 1/2 side you want to score at 1, 4, 5 and 8, and then rotate and score at 1, 6 1/2 and 7 1/2. Fold and burnish all of the score lines, and then with the 1/2 inch tab on your right hand side, you're going to cut up all of these sections here, score lines along the bottom here, but just up to the first score line. And then just remove this one here, and then the squares, if you fold those pieces up, you just want to cut a wedge off of each side, again like so. This is going to fold around like this, so this is going to be the last one I stick down. So this one, cut a little wedge off of the sides as well. Okay. So with that in mind, so again, that's going to come round. So we want to remove all of this section here. So bring it round now this way. You're going to cut down past the first and down to the second score line this time. So do that along all of them. And then remove this one completely. And then this whole section here, you're removing completely. So I'm going to fold all that down. And I can just get in here. Okay, so if I just lay it down that way, got your 1/2 inch tab on the right. This is the base. And then I've just cut away these 2 sections here. And then fold that away. You want to cut just the top part off of these 2 squares. Okay, and then just very carefully just cut a little bit away from these ones, not as much as maybe you've done on the bottom, because we want the lid to be able to close up, so we want it to kind of wedge itself in there. So just a little bit off there. So then you want to take your glue and run it along this panel. And then fold that one over. And then remember, that's the last one we're sticking down. So I'm going to stick this one down on the back, stick the sides in, and then close that up. Grab my ruler, just spread out that glue. And now you can test your closure. If it doesn't go in, if it's going to like buckle the card, then you want to trim a little bit off. I often say sometimes it's just like the score line that you might still be able to see. You can see a little bit of it there. And again. So just try that now. There we go. That sits in there really nicely. So repeat that, like I said, 3 times. So that's going all down the right-hand side. So just lay that down. Like I said, I'm going to do the pattern paper in that in a minute, because I'll show you it when it's all finished. So those 3 boxes are going to be like this. Okay, then on this side, I'm going to have a large box that's going to be up in this top section. And then I've got a bigger version of one of these, which is going to be down here. So this is now for the box. And when these are both together, so when they sit, so when one side sits on the other, the side here was 2.5. The box steps 1 inch, so both of them together, that's 2 inches, but you've still got 1/2 inch. So if you want to add like a nice decorative topper on here, maybe with some foam, you might have some floral embellishments, you've got 1/2 inch space there to be able to add anything with dimension on. So I just thought that was handy. So I've just rubbed this against one of my blending brushes, so it's got a bit of colour on it, but that's going to be covered with pattern paper. So for the base, this is a piece of 7.5 squared, and you want to score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So 1 inch, rotate, 1 inch, rotate, and again rotate 1 inch. Fold and burnish the score lines, and then choose a side. It doesn't matter which one, but you're going to cut down the 2 score lines just to the first score line, and again rotate and work on the opposite side and do the same. And just take a little wedge again off of the sides. Then add your glue on your corners there. You can do all 4 at the same time if you want. I'm just going to do these 2 first and bring the side under. Okay, just make sure you've got a nice right angle again. Okay, and then repeat that at the opposite end. Okay, so now we've got our tray. So I'm just going to leave that to one side. And then for the lid, so this one you've got to just score it slightly differently. So this piece here is 6.5 squared. You want to score at 1/2 inch, and then you just want to pull it out a little bit. Okay, so just pull it out slightly there. You can see I've pulled it out by about 1 millimetre, and then you're going to score at 6 1/8. Okay, and then rotate, and then again you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then pull it out slightly and score at 6 1/8. What we've done is we've made this middle square slightly bigger than this here, so the lid will fit on. Fold and burnish. Another little tip actually, which I've shared in lots of videos, if you take a piece of cardstock, just fold it in half, put that in the side, so score at 1/2 inch, then pull the card out, put this in, and then push the card back against that, take it away, and it gives you that same like 1 millimeter kind of space. It's basically like the 1/8 of an inch. It's that in between size. And then fold and burnish your score lines, and you're going to cut it exactly the same way that you cut the base. So up the 2 score lines on one side. So I've already got the paper on here, so I'll cut it this way. So just snip up to the first score line like so, and then on the opposite side, and then cut a little wedge off. Again, take my glue and then just stick around those corners. Now just do one end for the minute, and I'll show you a little tip just to make sure your lid's definitely going to fit, because you might have pulled one side out a bit more than the other, or maybe not enough and the lid might be a bit too snug. So I'll just show you a little tip in a sec just to ensure that it will fit. Okay, so then add your glue to the opposite side and just like pop them under like that, and then sit this end on your box and then bring the sides round and close it up. And then this way, you know you've got your right angles correct and the lid's going to definitely fit. And it makes it a bit easier for you to put a bit of pressure on there as well, make sure they're all secure. And you can take it off and just then give that a bit of time to dry. Okay, so now I have my other box, and you don't have to worry about if the lid maybe did fall off or anything, because it's going to hold itself together in here when it hits against this side. So this one now is going to go up here. So if I just take those 2 out, imagine they were all stuck in, but bring this up and around, you can see there, even if you didn't have any embellishments on, when I put the fastening on there, it's going to hold the lid together there. So you're going to have these 3 down here. This one here, I'm going to add some ribbon behind this to tie it up in a bow, so that will give me the dimension on this one, so it will fill that 1/2 inch kind of space between the 2. But what it means is that when you open this, the lid doesn't fall out and whatever's in there comes falling out, all falls out as well. So that one's going to be there, these 3 here, and then we're going to make that other box now to go down here. I'll go through, once I've cut all the mats and leads to decorate the boxes, I'll give you all those measurements at the end. So this is a piece of 8 1/4 by 10 1/2. Along the 8 1/4 side, you're going to score at 1, 6 1/2 and 7 1/2, and then rotate so those 2 sections are at the bottom. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, 4 1/2, 5 1/2 and 9 1/2. Fold and burnish all the score lines. Okay, and then you want that 1/2 inch tab on the right hand side, and you're going to cut up to the first score line all along the bottom. So this is exactly the same way you put this together as we did with those 3 smaller ones. And then like so. And then come around to this side, and you're going to cut down all of them to the second score line. Okay, and then again, this is all going to come around. So these ones here, I'll bring it around this way. We're going to remove that section completely. Then want to cut away above the 2 squares, and then take a little wedge off of the side of those. So that's going to be the front. So this is going to be the last one I stick down. So I want to cut a wedge off of these, and then also a little bit off of the sides here. Okay, and then glue all down the side, flip it over, fold that over, and that one, and then back again, and then flip it over, fold that one up, fold the back one down, so that's the one that I cut into, fold each side in, and then fold the base down. Again, grab your ruler and just spread all that glue out. And now again, do a little test. If it's too tight, take a little bit off. I'll take a little bit off this side again. I can see a tiny bit of the score line. That's usually what it will be. So if I bring this all in, And that one's going to open out this side. I might actually have the box at the bottom, maybe that one at the top, and then these 3 down this side. I think that's so. So I'm going to get the pattern paper all decorated inside the case. I'm going to stick these all down like so. I'm going to put ribbon behind this piece first and then stick it on, stick them all down, do all the mats and layers, give you the measurements for those in a moment, and then I'm going to look at my closure as well, which I think's probably going to be some ribbon. So as this sits over probably where I want the ribbon to go, what I'm going to do is add the ribbon first, then put your pattern paper over the top if you want to add ribbon. You might have like a piece of card that's going to go around. I'll let you know when I get to that. If I feel I need to stop and show that bit, I will. But if it's ribbon, I'm just going to carry on through. Okay, so I have changed the closure. I'm going to have this piece stuck on the back, and then it's going to come up and around, and then it's going to close on the front. So for the minute, all you want to do, if you want to do it like me, is cut a piece of 4.5 by 2.5, and along the long side just score at 1/2 inch. Don't do the other bit yet, because I think it's going to be better to just kind of wrap it around rather than fold it, because if I do add a bit more dimension, then I want to make sure it's going to close. So I'm just going to add my glue on the tab there. Got a bit of hot glue on that, actually I need to get rid of. And then you want to sit this in the middle, or as good as, of that big piece. So what we got here, bring it up so it's 4.25, and yeah, about 4.25. So that's going to come up, and then once the boxes are all in, I can wrap that around the front. So it's now actually a few days later. I forgot to film this last part and give you all the measurements for the mats and layers. So I've gone ahead and decorated the front here using the little cutouts from the paper collection. I've added the sentiment there, Happy Easter, and I've just put some vellum just across the corner there. I've just used some of the split pins here and just snipped off the backs of them just so I could use the fronts to look like some faux hardware. And then you can see here how the closure works. So I just pinched it around and then just laid that back down in my schoolboard just to go over it. So the pattern paper for all the mats and layers, so these are 1 3/4 by 2 3/8, and then this one here is 2 by 2 3/8, and then inside, which I absolutely love, is this gorgeous book of boxes. So you can see I've added the ribbon here, so I'm not going to actually take that apart because it looks really nice, but you can see there it just goes through the back. I stuck it down and I realised I'd forgot to add the ribbon, so I just pushed it in the sides there, but that's all nicely secured. So I don't forget, I'll give you the mats and layers for this piece. So this is 5 3/8 squared on the top there, and then the side pieces here are 7/8 by 5 3/8, so you'll want 4 of those. They'll all be coming up on the screen. Then this one here, I've added the little finger pulls, so you can see there's a little semicircle cut out. I just grabbed my punch. This is a different size one that I've got at hand, but you just pop your punch in and then just punch it. So for this one here to decorate, you want a piece of 5 3/8 by 3 7/8, and then 2 pieces of 7/8 by 3 7/8, and then 2 pieces of 7/8 by 5 3/8. And then I've got the little bunny decoration there, but I've left everything else because these papers are beautiful. So for these ones, you're going to want 3 pieces of 5 3/8 by 2 7/8, and then 2 for 6 pieces of 7/8 by 5 3/8, and again 6 pieces of 7/8 by 2 7/8. Lots of 7/8 there, but it will all be coming up on the screen. Did I give, yeah, the measurements for all the inside papers I've already given. I just used the 20mm hook and loop to close there, and then like I said, that bit of ribbon there, you can see when it closes, it's got that space to sit there without pushing against this one. Bearing in mind there's nothing in here yet either, so once I have filled these, I'm going to put bags of mini eggs in them, some chocolate bars, loose sweets and things like that, and then I think I'm going to have a little gift in this one. You know, all of that is going to help keep it held together nicely, but you can see how it looks on the side. It's lovely. I love making these kind of boxes, and like I said at the start, it's great for any occasion. It doesn't have to be Easter. Lovely Christmas gift, birthdays, just because, I mean, yeah, all occasions, I think. So all of the product that I've used today will be linked in the description box below the video. I'll have coming up my unusual packaging playlist. I've got so many creative and fun packaging ideas. They're all in that playlist. So have a little look if you've just found my channel, you know, you want some more inspiration, then yeah, check out the tutorials in there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, just clicking here, and that way you won't miss out on any future videos I share. And like I said, that playlist will be coming up now. See you all again soon. Bye.